after show, so get rockin' up.
So let me break it all down for you.
I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up.
I'm taking that crown from you.
A little bit of the bubbly. So Vince McMahon says goodbye to these names right here, even more. So where does Goat Mania think they will end up? Will they continue in the wrestling business or just take some time off, have a hiatus? Who knows? So here are my predictions where I think they could be going and how I would book them if they did go to these promotions. These are Goat Mania's dream predictions. So let's start off with ECIII. More recognised for his time in Impact Wrestling TNA, a rising star, made it to the top in Impact Wrestling and then moved straight to NXT, surprising everybody as he made his debut in NXT, and then suddenly it all went downhill. Without it sound depressing, making it sound depressing for him, you know, main roster, Vince McMahon, we know what Vince is like, he's an idiot, and, you know, poor EC3, you just see him making little cameos, then he's going for the 24/7 title, and just basically put him on main event or superstars, holding a red cup. He's had enough. You could just see there was nothing for, you know, he couldn't be bothered anymore, and I can understand that. And, you know, starting with his entrance on the main roster, the enthusiasm was there, and then when it got to like a year, about next 10 months, nothing happening. Vince didn't want to know. He was going to main event superstars, and he'd see one of his entrances on, there was no enthusiasm, there was nothing, he just couldn't be asked anymore, EC3. And he's been released by the WWE, which I am over the moon about, because I'm happy for him. He's been released because there's so much potential. I think he's 36, 37 years of age. He's still got, you know, there's so many wrestlers in the 40s still going. Even The Undertaker in his 50s is still going. And, you know, this guy's still young. He's still hungry. He really is. And I really would like to say, I'd like to see him at AEW, but I actually do think, but predictions wise, I can see him going to NWA. I actually see that the one on YouTube, a lot of good things happening there, and I think he would suit that a lot. Prediction would dream matchup would be, if he went to AEW, would be against MJF, or probably tag with him. As shout out to Jack Goodwill for the idea, if he went to AEW could tag with join forces with MJF, but I prefer if he went to AEW to have a feud with MJF, so be the babyface EC3 and go up against MJF in a feud. That'd be classic. That's my dream match right there. But NWA, some good matches you could have there. I think he's very good on the mic as well, like he was in Impact, and I'd love to see him. I bold prediction, I think he'll go to NWA. I really do think he will, and I think they'll use him right and he'll become a big star there. This was a big shock. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson being released from the WWE. Very shocked about that. Very shocked about that. So AJ Styles, without his brothers in the WWE, so maybe he could, I don't know, I was going to say Finn Balor then, but then I think he's back in NXT, Finn Balor. I don't know how they're going to do this now. Are they just going to push AJ now and become that big star, maybe go for the Universal title, maybe do that, I don't know, or with the draft probably coming up soon, and maybe another draft, who knows, go for the SmackDown, the World Heavyweight Championship, WWE title, whatever it's bloody called these days. But this is how I booked these two. I think they'll end up at AEW. Now, we don't want to keep thinking like AEW is going to become the next WCW, sign all these, or Impact doing it as well in their day, sign all these former WWE stars, and you know, then it just ruins the show then. But I think Cody knows that. But I think if you sign these two, you can book them very well. and I think they'll go to AEW. And also, bold prediction, my dream prediction, I think, I was going to say join the Inner Circle, but I think dream prediction, debut and join the Dark Order. I think they'll suit that. I think with Luke Gallows and his face paint, his iconic face paint he has, and then I think they would suit the Dark Order more, and I think that would build and make us like the Dark Order a bit more better, because I'm not really a big fan. Oh, at the start I wasn't, but when Brody Lee joins, I was like, yeah, I'll get behind it a bit more now. I think if you got these two to join the Dark Order, if they went to AEW, I think that would get the group over. I think it would get the Dark Order over. Bold thing for me to say, but I think it will get them over with the crowd. And but yeah, that's my dream prediction. I think they'll go to AEW, and I think they'll be part of the Dark Order with Brody Lee. Now on to Erick Young, the success this guy had in Impact Wrestling, same as ECIII, another iconic figure in Impact Wrestling. And also then moving to NXT like ECIII, and also being a part of Sanity, the group, the stable, which was quite dominant in NXT. And then they came up to the main roster and they didn't particularly work out. And then they split, and then the likes of Killian Dane moved back to NXT, and then another guy left, and then one of the other guys then went to Impact Wrestling, and then Cross went to well, it's on Raw, SmackDown, I don't know which one showed, with Alexa Bliss pairing with her later on. So it all got a bit crazy, and then poor Erick Young was paired on his own. He shaved his head, shaved his beard, looking like nothing like the old Erick Young of old. Excuse the pun, young old. And I really do feel sorry for him, because how he was treated, same as EC3, and then just basically becoming a jobber, Erick Young, in the main roster. So I wish him all the best, and I think, predictions wise, I think he'll go to NWA. Or when you think about it, I'm going for a dream prediction. I think he'll probably, predictions wise, I think NWA, but I think bold, like dream prediction, I think he'll go to AEW and join the Dark Order, because he looks like that guy he had it with Sanity, like that dark sort of side, and I think he would suit that so well by joining a group, a stable, should I say, like the Dark Order, with likes of Brody Lee in there. I think he would suit that very much, and it would suit his character on who he is, and become that lunatic sort of gimmick he had in part of his time in Impact. And I think that would work out for him, and I can see like a dream match happening between him and Moxley, if I dare say, a dream match. I'm saying it, dream match. If he grew the beard back and got himself back as the Erick Young of old, excuse the pun again, no pun intended. And but yeah, I'd like to see that. I would like to see that Erick Young go to AEW and join the Dark Order. So that's my bold dream prediction right there. But my main prediction is NWA / AEW. So we'll see what happens. And I'm also not ruling out a return to Impact. I just want to get that out there as well. He could still possibly make the return to Impact, and I feel that was his home. I feel that's where, he's more known and everything, and I feel like he could make a return to Impact. Okay, last one to finish off the video. Erick Rowan, or sometimes he went by Rowan in his time in the main roster in WWE. And this is how I would book him. Another one that I'm shocked about them letting go as well. And it just didn't seem to work out. When I thought, him turn on Daniel Bryan and this feud with Roman Reigns, I thought this was going to be a turning point in his career in the main roster. But never trust Vince. And then suddenly he moves to Raw, and then Harper back then, Luke Harper, it was called back then, moves away, gets released, and then this guy, he gets a spider, something like a fake spider, and then it's bloody squashed or destroyed the bloody week after, and then suddenly that's Erick Rowan just Erick Rowan's character, you know, buried in the WWE, then he's finished. That's him. That's him becoming a jobber. Now, you know, with this guy who's a colossus, a giant, and, you know, you could have built up so much and then you just destroy him in the WWE. That's Vince for you. Just bury his talent. Like with the rest of the others that I mentioned in the video, just to name a few. But honestly, where he could go, because I heard him and Brody Lee, as he's called now in AEW, were pretty tight. Could he be going to AEW? I'd like to think NWA as well. I think he'll fit there, but I'm gonna say go to AEW. I think Cody will see this with the release of, obviously now obviously the release of and also Brody Lee as well, because they were pretty tight during the time of the WWE. And I think he'll go to, I'm going to mention it again, believe it or not, I'm going to say a Dark Order again. Join the Dark Order. I think this is for the third time I've said the Dark Order a wrestler's going to be in a dream prediction. And I think he could join up with, because they were amazing tag team together with the Wyatts, the Bludgeon Brothers. You know, you can't separate the two. They are some tag team, and they could be reunited once again in the Dark Order. I'm not ruling that out. Maybe it could be Huge Swerve, and he could go into the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho signs another giant as well, you know, Jake Hager, and who knows? You got two giants there in the Inner Circle, two big muscle men. And but I'm gonna say it again, believe it or not, it's pretty boring, but I'm gonna say it. And join AEW, and I think he'll join the Dark Order. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. That's how I would book these lads if they went to another wrestling promotion. And but yeah, I know I didn't do all of them, like Zack Ryder, Rusev, but I'm not sure where they would go, those two. But I want to talk about the others where I think they will go. I think they'll continue in the wrestling business, definitely. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please give it a subscribe. I've been the GO.A.T, the greatest of all time, Mania, and see you later.
So let me break it all down for you.
I ain't never giving up, I ain't never
You know
giving
I'm taking that crown from you.
A little bit of the bubbly.